Welcome back to the episode of Vash Reacts. We got a death battle. Blade versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Marvel versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer, of course. Y'all know how it is. I give my prediction before the stats and after the stats. I got Blade. As a Blade fan, as a Marvel fan, I got Blade. I remember Buffy. I know who Buffy is, but I prefer Blade. Blade, my boy. Since his release in Marvel Rivals, hopefully the movie. Hopefully his movie gets released soon. I got Blade all the way. This video is 27 minutes, so we're going to get right into this video. Them stats, it's probably going to be some long-ass stats. Okay, it's live action. It's not animated.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
A death battle. Okay, who we doing first? What stats we got first?
They are known by many names. Revenant, Vortala, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day, Blade.
Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now there's a man who doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes
I get that. I understand that
ever,
reference.
and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there.
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium. A variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession. the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed.
Damn.
And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out.
Damn.
They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blade's even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker
What happened to his son? Do the youngest Avengers does not exist in this? What the hell?
rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does
I thought he
make
had
him
fun.
even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called
Hey,
Boy Thing,
I
let
thought it was
Marvel's
Swamp Thing.
vampires beware. For
Oh,
should
Man
they
Thing. That's
indulge
one
their
of 'em.
unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
That was short. That was short.
Today's battle is sponsored.
Okay, we don't bet over here. FanDuel kind of fucked me over and DraftKings, so we're gonna skip past this. It's an ad. We're gonna skip past that one. Pros picks my ass. Let's skip.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against
Okay, this
the
is Buffy,
vampires,
y'all. This
the
is Buffy.
demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and... Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century!
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
God
Buffy
damn, this
apparently
bitch
thinks Hong Kong's
efficient.
Kung Fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive
If only she was real, right? Say no, let me stop.
explosions, like the one that destroyed Sifrilian's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not
What?
show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they
Is
couldn't.
that fucking... That's Seth Green. That's Seth Green. I don't remember this show as much, bro.
Understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Hey, yo.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even
Dang.
faced off against the first evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The, Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
Containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons, the scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer
Blade loss. Blade loss. As soon as they said that shit, Blade loss. Fuck. Of course it's some fuck shit they just pulled out their ass, bro. The scythe conceived a child with Willow in the nut. can cut through magic, space, and ghosts. Yeah, Blade lost. Blade fucking lost. Well, let's
Worlds.
continue
Kinda like
watching.
Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Ash,
So, since they pulled that bullshit out their ass that Buffy Scythe can cut through anything, I'm going with Buffy. No, I'm gonna stick by Blade, bro. I'm gonna stick by Blade. I don't care. Blade's taking this. Fuck that Scythe. Blade's taking this. We gonna get right into this, man. I understand they want to promote their shit. Blade's taking this home, bro.
oh!
Okay, Blade's taking this home. I'm going with Blade. Okay, it's live action. It's not animated, it's live action. And they're in a nightclub. It wouldn't be a nightclub scene with Blade. It wouldn't be Blade without a nightclub scene at all. All them vampires and you look for Blade? That's crazy. The racism. It's ridiculous. Look, you see that girl getting snatched up.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she is just the start.
Blade. The Daywalker. Okay, it's more of a team up right now more than anything. Like I said, even though Buffy is a vampire slayer, like Blade hates his own kind as well. So yeah, a lot of these death battles need alternate endings because I feel like they will be friends or team up in another universe. Even though Blade like to work alone. Right, suicide. Main ass suplex.
Not anymore.
Like that, like that. Who is this nigga playing Blade? That nigga got some aura to him, I ain't even gonna lie.
You out your damn mind?
I know I would have said some. The fuck was that? Oh, that's a Blade. I'd rather say she shit it. You should have said some corny shit like, "You digging the doogie, aren't you?" Girl, you know you can't take the black shrimp. That BBS, that beautiful black shrimp.
Amateur hour.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Wouldn't be a Blade thing without that you saying either. Damn. Oh, that go the axe. That can cut through anything apparently.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Got him. Tagged him. All that dramatic shit. Get your ass up, Buffy. Man, fight this black man. Like who you are. Get rid of a Blade. Get rid of this fucking dumbass motherfucker. She's a vampire slayer. Show her what a king really looks like, Blade. Oh, here go this bullshit. Said she ready to pull out her ass. Look at her. Damn. You know, if this would have happened during Black History Month, this would have been deemed as racist. I'm just saying. Blade fans can't have shit, bro. We can't have nothing. We can't have nothing. Damn. Can't have shit as a Blade fan, bro. Fuck it, come on. We know it's over, bro. I don't care.
You got ahead of yourself.
Bitch, I hope you.
KO! To be Blade tenued no longer.
I don't care about the stats. I don't care. As a Blade fan, we can't have nothing. Who's next, bro? Really? Because I knew that shit was going to happen as soon they pulled that axe out of nowhere, bro. I don't care about the stats. I really don't care. What actors did great. The girl who played Buffy did great. The guy who played Blade did a great job. I really don't care about the end stats at all. I knew it was going to happen. I had high hopes for Blade as a Blade fan. Fuck, who's next, bro? I don't care.
But Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I don't care. Shut up. Who's
Next
next?
time on Death Battle.
Okay, Dante. Oh, Final Fantasy.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more.
I have not played this Final Fantasy because I heard it's just all movie more than gameplay. But Dante versus Clive, I don't know much about Clive, so I'm gonna have to watch the stats for that one. I got my money on Dante. As a Devil May Cry fan, I got my money on Dante. But the Blade fans can't have shit. I'm gonna get done this video. Vass reacts, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.